righty. Hello, friends. Happy Sunday. There we go. How is everybody? It is hot here in Philly. I don't know how it is where you are. Let me go and get everything set up here. All righty. Let's see here. Excellent. Okay. All right. Okay, friends. Hi. It's Amy from Philly, and welcome to my stream. Today is a special one because we are doing our part 2 of the Umbrian cuisine that I'm sharing some recipes that we learned when we had our trip to Italy last April, and we spent quite a few days in Umbria. We kind of headquartered in Orvieto and explored some other areas around there, did some wineries, and one of my favorite parts, the highlights, was a cooking class. And we, last month, shared with you the potato gnocchi with the white bolognese, and today, hi Barb, oh I'm so glad! And Barb, we have a special guest that'll be joining us today. So one of my favorite guests that joins us from time to time. So I hope you'll be excited to see him as much as I am. But in any event, yes, we are sharing the homemade pasta. And I really hope that with a few tips, this can be something that is really approachable for you all. Because I will be honest, for any of you that have followed my channel, you might recall that I actually taught my son, Matt, how to make homemade pasta the way I was taught, which was by a neighbor. And she whizzed up everything in a food processor. And I will tell you that is a really approachable, like no fuss, no fear way to do it. Like we did the dough there and we used a pasta machine. But today I'm going to show you a way to make pasta that I was taught by the cook that was teaching us in our cooking class. And you don't need a machine. So the only thing I will say I did realize that you needed, because I tried to do something crazy, I'll tell you a story during this, what we did right after we got back from the trip, is I would really recommend a special. These aren't expensive. I just got this one on Amazon. And if you're interested, I can always share the link later below in the description. By the way, everything's in the description, everything you want to know. I will tell you some of the changes that we did in the class, and so we're going to reflect that. So just make a note. I was printing what Decugnano de Barbi, the winery where we had our cooking class too, what they had put in the little book that gave it to us. So this is actually the little book right here. And today we're making Tagliatelle amatriciana. So when you think about Roman pastas, amatriciana is one of 4 Roman pastas that are classic. And of course we know the carbonara, and we know the cacio e pepe, and I'm forgetting what the other one is, but amatriciana is one of the other ones. And it's kind of like I feel like it's one of those that is a sleeper of those pastas. So very excited to share that with you. But I will tell you that we're going to show a couple changes that are here. So they won't be reflected down below because I wanted to honor Decugnano de Barbi with the recipe that they left us with. But you might want to note those changes if you make it the way we did. And you don't have to make it the way we did, but that's what we did. So the one tool I would recommend, by the way, is a smaller rolling pin. So I have a rolling pin that I think was my grandma's. And it's probably about that much wider. But I found when I tried to make pasta with it, it was really hard. It's better for pastry, right? So the smaller one gives you much more control, and we'll talk about that when we get to the pasta making. But first, we need to get the sauce going, because the sauce is going to collect flavor as we're doing the pasta, and the pasta will take hardly no time at all to cook. So Barb, I have to know, how are you doing? Because as you know, you are always on my heart. And I just wanted to know how you're doing, because I know you have not been as well. So I just want to see how you're doing. So please let me know. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a pan, and we are going to thinly slice the star of the show. And I'm not sure if I'm going to say this quite right, but it's guanciale. And guanciale is similar. Let me get it out. Here we go. Guanciale. I'm not quite sure if I'm saying that right. So this is one of the ingredients I got at the Italian market yesterday, and you can kind of see how it looks from the side view. So this is considered much more flavorful than, say, using pancetta, which is something else you could use if that's all you can find. I know for us, we have to go to the Italian market to get the guanciale. So I would use pancetta in a pinch for sure. I would not use bacon because bacon, it's just going to overwhelm the dish. So definitely do not recommend that. So let me get some scissors so that I can cut this out. And then what we're going to do is just thinly slice. Oh, there they are. Let me get them. We're just going to thinly slice this and let it render in a cold pan. So that is why I have my pan there, because, oh, let me see if I can get these scissors together. Oh, my goodness. Okay.
Can we do it?
Sure. There we go.
That was kind of funny to watch.
Yeah, that was fun. It's always fun. It's always exciting here in the kitchen. So let me just cut this out of the package. And so the difference between pancetta and guanciale is pancetta is from the belly and includes the fat there, and guanciale is from the cheek. So it's just a different part, and it's considered to have more flavor. Now, I will be the first to tell you I've never tasted them side by side, so that's where I would be able to give the best advice. But God, I gotta show you this, because look at all the seasoning on there. And that is different than pancetta. So anyone knows pancetta, you don't quite get all that. And in fact, one of the places we were at, they do their own, and I wanted to get their own, and they were out. And the stuff that they were making wasn't quite ready yet. So I learned that I need to kind of know ahead of time if I'm going to use their house-made guanciale. So I thought that was really kind of cool. I honestly didn't know that one of the places in Philly would just do their own, which I thought was wonderful. Do you remember the name of the place that did that, babe? That's okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to thinly slice this. So in the recipe it says you could either small dice or thinly slice. When we were in our class, she had us just thinly slice it. So that is what I'm going to do. And then, like I said, this is going to render, and so it's going to kind of look like this. You see that? It's going to render out there. And this is just a little bit more than the amount that she had said, that is said down below. And our tomato product is a little bit more, so I figure like that's going to all balance out. But this lends flavor to the dish. Now, one of the things I actually did a deep dive in before this stream is the whole idea of whether you add anything else besides guanciale, the tomatoes, salt and pepper, and some chili, if you want a little bit of heat. So this whole thing about garlic and onions. And so the purists would tell you that no, you never add garlic or onions. But I will tell you, while they did not add garlic at the place we were at, she did say that sometimes she adds onions. And she asked us what we preferred. And we were like, I've never met an onion I don't like. So, so we actually put some onions in there. And I'm going to be using shallot because the onion that we used in Italy looked much more like a shallot that we have here in the States. Oh my goodness, all of a sudden the chat blew up. So let me just catch myself up. Archie, hey Archie, how are you, my friend? Let's see here. Archie said, oh, it's hot here too, I will tell you. Hubs and the boys and my daughter-in-law, they were all golfing today. So I stayed back because I melt in the heat. Did you know that? So, and frankly, these days I generate so much heat on my own. I don't need the heat from outside, so I decided to stay back. Oh, May, hey May, nice to see you. And oh, Barb, I'm so glad to hear you're doing better. Wonderful. Oh, that makes my heart good. So it makes me happy to hear that. So Barb, May, and Archie, wonderful having you all here. And anyone else that's here, feel free to say hi down the chat. And if not, totally okay. And by the way, please make sure to like, subscribe so you don't miss a thing, and share this with anyone that you think would enjoy this kind of live stream or video. Now Archie's going right in for the digs, the salty digs. Oh my gosh, you guys are hysterical. Yeah, no fries today, Archie. There will be no fries today. Such a hoot. You guys crack me up. Alrighty. So friends, so let's get going. So I have some of the guanciale there, and I'm going to cut some more. And so what we're going to do is we're going to put this on in a cold pan and just get this render out to the fat and start getting a little bit crispy. Like you don't want this, you just want to have a little chew and a little crisp. So let me finish that. And I actually don't know that I'm going to do all this because to me, I go by looks a lot when I'm cooking, and that just looks like plenty. So I'm going to save this to flavor a little something, what?
Just fry it up
Another time. Oh, that's what Cubs has a great idea. Let's just fry it up. Not fry it, but, you know, get it rendered, and then we can just set it aside. There you go. What a good idea. He always comes with good ideas. Okay, so let me finish this up. So Archie, are you able to find guanciale where you are, or is pancetta easier like it is here? I'm just curious about that. Because you really have to get like a specialty market to get that here. All right, so this is all sliced up, and I'm going to put this on the heat, and I think they recommend medium heat. So I'm going to get this on medium heat, and I'll bring you over there to see how it's doing once it starts having some magic happen. But first, let's just get this going. All right, so next, while that is starting to go, let me just see what time it is. So hopefully in about 5 or 7 minutes, it'll be ready. We're going to add some shallot to it. And I'm going to use a different knife for that. And I don't need this, as it turns out. So my special guest was going to be starting the stream with me, but that didn't work out. So we are going to move forward. So next, let's get the shallot. And I know my special guest would prefer if the shallot was a more finely diced shallot. So that is what I'm going to do. Oh, and I thought I sharpened this, but that did not go well at all, did it, friends? Holy moly. We're going to use the pancetta knife. Oh, that's not even going well either. Babe, apparently, but that shouldn't be. No, but I shouldn't. Like, these should be sharp enough. I don't know why that's not coming down. There we go. That was very strange. My goodness. Okay, we're going to try it again. Okay, that did fine there. It just was not liking that shallot skin. See, you know, you have these issues at home. I have them here too. All right, so let me just peel this, and let's get this into a fine dice mince kind of thing. I would say minced is what I'm looking for. So again, you do not need to add shallot or onion to your amatriciana, but you know what? She's wondered if we wanted to do it here when we were together, so we did, and we liked it. I liked what it adds. So they say, if you do any reading about adding onion, they'll say that the onion adds a sweetness that kind of plays off the salty guanciale. So which is part of the reason some people like it. So if that's your thing, do it. So to me, that's my thing. So I'm just gonna give this a really fine mince. You don't need to do a fine mince if you don't have a guest that's as fussy as mine can be sometimes. So, and I don't know that I'll be using all this, but I might just leave it chopped because then I have one less thing to do this week for dinner. So that's always a good trick is, you know, getting your prep done so that you don't need to do it later in the week. So I think I'll get this all chopped, but I probably won't be using all this. And this is kind of a average-sized shallot, I would say. So we're just gonna get that minced up. Okay, there we go. Let me check. Yes, there is a lot of heat. Oh my gosh, it was in the hundreds. But luckily, I was at the lake, Archie, with my sister when it was in the hundreds. So I was very grateful to get some respite from that. Yes, Hubs was not. I don't think they can hear you though, babe. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to bring you over and show you this. And we'll bring you over for permanent. So you can see some of the fat is starting to render. I have this on medium. Right there. Oh, the smell is amazing. It smells so good. I cannot even tell you how good it smells. Delicious. Okay. So we're letting that render. Let's go on back. And I want to talk to you a little bit about the tomatoes that we are using for this. And I see my guest has arrived. So guest, want to come over and say hello? Did you see your? Yeah, is it on? You got to turn on.
Hold it.
Toast screen, yeah. So my guest is here. So Matt came over to learn a little bit about this pasta without a machine.
Yep.
And is this fine enough for you? He likes a fine
No, that's good.
mince. Is that good? Okay, I probably won't be using all of it, but I'll just save some of it for another use. Oh, good. I'm glad you approve of that, by the way.
Yep.
All right. So what I was telling Matt actually is that while in the recipe they talk about using whole tomatoes and you would put it through like a food grinder. I can't think there's a better name for that. But or you can use your fingers to kind of break it up. But what she used, I think, was it Rosanna? I always forget, babe.
What?
I wasn't Rosanna. Whoever our cook was, I forget her name now because it's been a minute. But she just used passata. And I was telling Matt that I was just reading an article from Serious Eats about how passata is like that secret something that a lot of Italians use for their sauce. And while it's like an upgraded puree. So some of you might think it's just like a tomato puree, but in actuality, it's a bit of an upgrade. And what I was reading about is the fact that the reason for this is due to when the tomatoes are harvested for passata. It's usually like those really good end of summer tomatoes, their sweetness, perfection. So that's what we're gonna be using. So you could use whole tomatoes, but hey, we were at Decugnano de Barbi. We did this in Italy, so we're doing this here. And this is one I can get this is at the wine bar that's nearby us.
Gotcha.
So, but Cento in the States, Cento and Delalo also have passata. So you can either follow what it says down the recipe below or do what she taught us to do when we were in the cooking class, was use a passata. So I'm just trying to explain why that is. All right, so these have been going now for 5 minutes. Starting to get a little bit crisper.
Is there ice beer on hand for the student? Not yet. Actually, I might do a cocktail instead of a beer.
I'm supposed to make or something.
Yes, so
No.
it was good convincing him to come over to help because we're actually, like we did last time with the potato gnocchi.
Old-fashioned Manhattan.
Manhattan.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So
My go-to.
apparently it's his go-to. But we are going to be having my older son and his wife over also. So they'll be helping us eat this meal. So in any event, let's get started with a couple of things. So here's this. I'm going to bring y'all over so you can see this portion of it because soon we're going to be adding the remaining ingredients. So I'm going to bring this. So, do you want to do that? Sure, because I do have you here. I put him to work. Okay. So first, I got my little camera guy. Gotta love that. So we can kind of see how everything looks here, and I'm going to get my handle here. So you can see things are starting to brown. See how they're getting caramelized there? Some of them are not, so we need to get those down. So I do want them to go for a little bit longer, probably about 5 more minutes. And I might turn up just a tad. I turned it down. This medium on this back burner tends to be a little hot, so I just didn't want quite that hot. So I'm just trying to make sure that all of that can render and get nice crispy bits. So we're going to let that go a little bit. And then in a few minutes, we are going to be adding some of this onion. And then we are also going to be adding the passata that we were talking about. So those are mainly the ingredients. One thing we will be adding is a little heat that is up to you if you want to add. It's not meant to be a spicy, but it just gives a little background, a little something, something. You could either do something like a pepperoncino, which is a product you keep in your fridge, or you can always just use the red chili peppers. So that's up to you guys. Matt, which would you rather I use to add just a little background?
What do you think's best?
They're both good.
All right.
This is one most people have, but this one just is a little bit fresher flavor.
I mean, if you have this, you might as well use it.
We'll just use that. Okay, so we'll use that. Let me get a little fork for that for when it's time. Let's see. All right, and so while we're doing that, I did want to talk about, because we're going to add these in just a minute, I did want to talk a little bit about our pasta. So as I mentioned, one of the things, this got wet, so I want to make sure this gets dry. One of the things we are going to be using is a smaller diameter rolling pin. And the reason, The reason is that that it'll just help us get this one technique that I'm going to be showing you that we were taught. It helps you get it down. With the bigger one, a bigger diameter, is just too difficult to do. So while we're waiting, I'm going to actually get some water because Mom needs water. So you can put that down if you want for a second because our pancetta wasn't as far as I was hoping it would be. I think it needs about 4 more minutes before we add the shallot, and then the shallot's going to want to, get a little softened. So,
Yep.
so typically the sauce takes about half hour to cook. It's going to be cooking while we make the pasta, but because of the amount of guanciale we were using, I think it's just taking a little longer.
I also didn't realize for this one that the guanciale is just in slices and not like diced up like a carbonara or something would be.
Absolutely, it's a good thing. And I was mentioning that she had us slice it, but you could do either.
Gotcha.
So it's totally whatever you want to do. But let me get some ice water. And while we're waiting for the guanciale, I will show you what we are actually going to also be having for our dinner. Because this is live cooking, and we are going to be serving the whole family with this when we are completed. When we were in the Italian market, the other thing we got some tomato pie. So I'm just going to get this out so it can be room temperature.
She said I'd need cold Japanese beer as an incentive. Funny enough, I don't think I've ever had a Japanese beer.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
I bet
You'd
you'd have to go to Tuna Bar.
or,
I don't know if I have.
Tuna
I
Bar.
love Japanese beer.
Yeah.
You have to go to Tuna
I mean,
Bar.
I've had like Japanese spirits and stuff, but not.
This
Oh wow.
is good stuff. Yes.
That smells
So
fantastic.
this was from Sarcones, which is a
Which is the one who
famous place in
Yeah.
South Philly.
And it does
Sarcones.
all the, it's known as the really good cheesesteak place, or the really good cheesesteaks use Sarcones.
Used Sarcones rolls. But we walked in there and it smelled divine in there. And so this is tomato pie. So
This
tomato
already
pie.
smells good.
Oh, doesn't it smell amazing?
Yeah.
So tomato pie is definitely
$3.
a
That's-
Philly and Trenton thing, right, babe? Because Trenton has tomato pie. So this was, you can see this was from one that was a little bit thicker. And tomato pie basically has kind of like a thicker crust, and then it's just this concentrated fresh tomato. There's some herbs in there. There's a little bit of cheese sprinkled, like some Parmesan cheese. Very simple. So we're going to cut this up and serve this alongside. And the other thing I got out, because I froze the extra, was some focaccia. So the family hasn't had that yet.
Yeah.
So we're going to have that out too to
Was this
have
a
with our
sour
pasta and
bread
salad.
focaccia,
No, this is
or
just
this
a
just a- okay.
yeast. This is just a yeast
Yeah.
focaccia. So if anyone don't remember, that was my homemade focaccia. So I froze that right away the day of, and there we go. So that is those are two of the things that accompany our dinner tonight, or this evening. So so we will be in good shape. You think?
I think so.
I think so. All right, so let's put this over here. Let's check the pancetta if you want to.
First,
First that, yeah.
Thank you very much.
show 'em.
Very tasty. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, so if you want to bring it over to show this part, Maddie.
Yep.
It's got nice caramelization on here. You can see that. Kind of go in there
Yep.
so you can see. Look how nice that looks. Very good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add probably about half of these. So about half of a shallot would be my thing. Again, I don't want this to be onion heavy, but I do want the onion to add the flavor. Again, this is something you can leave out. The other thing we're going to add at this point is the pepperoncino, or if you had your crushed red pepper flakes. So again, I'm not looking for adding a ton of heat. I just want a little background, so I'm going to put in, I don't know, that's probably like a half a teaspoon up there. If you did red pepper flakes, I would do just like a pinch. This is going to be feeding 4 people, so, just do it to your taste or leave it out. It's totally up to you. It's just going to add to the flavor.
See, if this were me, I'd probably add more than a pinch of red pepper flakes. Because
True.
I love my red pepper flakes.
And I do love it too, but so amatriciana, you can make it how you want it for sure, but I kind of wanted to stick with more traditional.
Sure, keeping
even
it
though
up.
I add onions, so I'm
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
that, but I'm adding onions. But she did let us do that.
Yep.
So, and that was in Italy, so I feel like I got permission.
Yeah.
Oh, but the smells. You got to come over and smell this. Just waft that. Can you smell that?
Yeah.
It smells amazing. So I highly recommend if you are able to go to some place that has guanciale, I recommend getting it because I can tell right now because I've cooked with pancetta many times, and as yummy as pancetta is, this just, oh my goodness, like the flavor is just oozing out. So I'm just going to let that come up just a little bit on a medium heat, and I just want to refer to the method. And one of the things that we'll do is we will add our passata. And by the way, this is all set, so this I can turn off. This is for when we're ready for our pasta. And at the end, we will season with salt and freshly ground pepper to taste. So that's one thing we will do for sure. Okay. Now the other thing that I'm trying to think if I'm just looking here because they talk about extra virgin olive oil, but I didn't see where she added it. So by the way, when these were all cooking, we were making pasta, so we got all the ingredients ready, and I know Hub started kind of stirring some of these sauces, right, Hubs?
Yeah.
But then we kind of weren't watching because we were making the pastas oh my God, that just smells so good.
Yeah.
I cannot express enough of how good
Yeah,
this
it's just
smells.
becoming more fragrant.
But I'm just,
You know why I was the one that was asked to stir?
why is that?
Because that was the only thing she could trust me with.
So I don't see a time to add olive oil, so I'm just going to add a little bit of olive oil to it just to add a little bit of goodness because I didn't see when to add it. So, I guess I'll just add some now.
Sure, it won't hurt.
Won't hurt. Add a little flavor. Okay. So now that and we've cut our shallots so small that they have had a chance to soften. And now I'm just going to add this and we're going to let it get happy at a simmer for the remainder of the time. So I'm just going to add this to here.
You got that new bottle open pretty quick.
I know. Strong woman.
Oh, the whole thing.
Yes. Because I added a little more guanciale than
Yeah.
I think. You could just add 400 grams of this. This is, I think, 700, but there's a lot of us. I want to make sure there's plenty of sauce, right?
Yep.
So we will test the seasoning at the end after it's had a time to kind of swim together, get each other's flavors, all that good stuff. And that is all. Okay, so this is now going to be covered and simmering while we're making our pasta. So, and it's really easy when you think about that. And that guanciale is going to flavor that sauce with so much, even already. And I will tell you, tasting the passata, it has a sweetness that like a regular puree that we get here in the States does not. So now I'm going to just bring this up to a simmer, get that up in a minute, and we are going to let that sit tight. So now pasta. Pasta and Manhattans, apparently. Who knew that was a thing, right? Let me wash my hands and let me check the chat. All right.
Yeah, Archie mentioned he likes your term, little camera guy.
Little camera guy. Very good. I love that, Arch. Is it vegan guanciale? Yes. we only cook the vegan guanciale. Oh my gosh, it's hysterical.
Did you hear?
Calabrian peppercino is hardcore.
Did you already read the thing about it being hot in Philly?
Yes.
No.
Yes, absolutely.
Boy, has it been hot.
Oh, it has been hot. Yes.
It was
All right.
hot golfing today.
Yeah,
Yep.
they were hot golfing day, which is why.
Yeah, I caddied. I don't have golf clubs. As I've said, I have, I think, a couple too many expensive hobbies to justify buying golf clubs.
So friends, this is simmering. I just came up to a little boil, so I'm going to turn this down now and keep it on low. And I'm going to partially cover it to let some out, and then we'll bring the cover back over when we need to bring our pasta water back up. Okay, so now the pasta. Let's gonna move this back a little bit.
Also, Archie, this is a Manhattan.
Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely. Okay, so let me grab our stuff. Here we have, let's talk a little bit about the flour. So when you make this pasta, you could just use regular all-purpose flour. One of the things we talked about when we were at the cooking class is I asked about the flour because I said, do you prefer to use a finer flour? And she said yes, and she said it's this 00 flour, tipo extra fine flour. So that is the flour that we're going to be using. It just creates a softer dough. You could use regular flour, but I'm just mentioning we're going to be using this one today because I did ask about that because I knew that is a flour that's used to make sometimes pizza doughs.
Yeah, it
makes a
mentions
really good
that
pizza
on the
dough,
side, yeah.
but also pasta.
Interesting.
So what I've done is I've already measured with our little weight. I think it was 400 grams of all-purpose flour. So I've already done that.
Measuring by weight is the way to do it.
Absolutely.
Yep.
It is the gold standard.
Yep.
So what I'm going to do,
What's that?
It's way more accurate
because
than...
it just is
yeah.
exact.
Yep.
So what we're going to do is, do you have a preference of where you stand? Okay.
I don't care.
So
Wherever you
wash
need
your
me.
hands. I just washed mine.
Was the shower not enough?
Well,
No,
I don't know. Yeah.
I'm teasing. I'll
So what's very wonderful about this recipe, and you'll see if you look at it, oh, and we do need extra flour. So I'm going to keep this open because I almost forgot about that. Because we will need extra flour for some different parts of this process. So I'm going to just get this here that we can use. There we
I
go.
actually enjoy making this pasta.
I know. How cool is that?
It was fun.
Well, I don't know where I want to put it because I feel like, you know, I'm just going to put it here so it's not in the way.
I need details, Matt. You got to ask the mixologist over here. But what
how'd you make the drink?
what all went into the Manhattan?
3 ounces of rye, an ounce and a
Oh,
half
that's
of
yours.
sweet vermouth,
You got to stay near me if they're going to hear you.
ounce and a half of sweet vermouth, and
Which rye is it? Mine are keys.
this is the one that Rob told me about.
Oh, okay,
It's
gotcha.
cheap, it's relatively cheap. 3 ounces of rye,
And what, maraschino cherry?
then I put a maraschino cherry in it.
Easy
could
for
do a
you
little
say.
lime twist. But this is a pretty good cheap, relatively cheap rye.
Good
So-
to know.
That's it.
So I've already cleaned my counter very well. So we're ready for this. And all we need is flour, eggs, and a fork. So what I'm going to do is I'm first going to give you a little pile. Give me a little pile. Give you a little bit more. Give me a little bit more. Should be about, it's about half. And then we're going to take our cup measure and we're going to make a little well like that. Okay. All right. And then we are going to take our eggs and we are going to crack them in the middle. You ready for that, babe?
Oh.
Okay. Just put our shells over here. Now, what we did, because we were making for only 2, is we had flour and then just 1 egg in the middle. So this one's a little trickier because we've got 2 eggs. I only practiced with 1 egg, but, you know, let's just make it a little trickier. Okay, I'm going to just take this out right there. You can just put them right there. Okay, so then what you're going to do is you're going to take your fork and you're going to poke your yolks just to get them at least broken.
Yep.
And then you're just going to gently, in the very middle, is just get that whipped up. So you're just whipping up your eggs in the middle, trying to keep it right in the middle yet. You're not purposely pulling flour in. Eventually we will. So you're just wanting to get them kind of scrambled, so to speak. Okay.
Oh, this is where I made the paste.
So then, after you get it scrambled-ish, like that, then you're going to just start pulling some flour and mixing it. And do it kind of slowly, because what happens is, and this is not, it's okay if it happens, but if you make a gully, then all of your eggs rush out.
I'm
So you
really
do,
worried about
So you do want to just be a little mindful of that, and you're just pulling it in. Oh, and I just realized I got to do something. I've got to get my this tool, babe.
So Matt, I literally made paste. It was all over my hands. and that's when she came over and she looked at me and she went,
He did a good job. It is hard, and and I think the only reason I knew some of the downfalls was because I've seen people make it this way. I had never made it this way before, but I had watched it being done. So, and you're just kind of keep bringing it in.
Yeah.
And then after you slowly bring it in, eventually it will all come together. And then it'll be kind of like scrappy and, what's the word I want to use? It won't be all together. It'll be kind of, chunky and that sort of thing. And then we're just gonna start working it, and eventually we will be kneading it.
Yep.
Okay. So as it gets a little thicker, that's when you want to be a little more aggressive with bringing in your flour.
Yeah, you're definitely way further
That's
along than I
okay.
am.
Take your
I'm
time.
trying to
It's okay.
be careful.
There's
especially
no race or anything. And then see where I've gotten to this point that it's kind of ragged. So at this point, I'm going to let you use this one, the nicer one. I'm going to use my plastic one I use for other doughs. So it is nice to have a bench scraper. I do think you could do it without, like you could find other ways to do it, but the bench scraper does make things easier. So if you have a bench scraper. So then what we did was we just kind of went back and forth like this, just to kind of start getting the shaggy dough. Shaggy, that's the word I was looking for, the shaggy dough together. And of
I
course,
feel like I've spread out too much.
No, you're doing
you're doing great.
You're doing well.
Yeah, and it's not going to run now, which is good because you have it thick enough.
Definitely.
By this time, it was all over my hands.
All right, I'm just gonna start.
Now, if your dough, once you start getting it together and kneading it, is too dry, and this is one of the things you just don't know, is you can add a little water just to help it come together. But we're not quite to that point yet, so I'm going to start now bringing my dough together.
Should I be?
Yep, you bring it all in now. Start just bringing it all in. And then you can, and I don't know if you saw what I did with the bench scraper. Start getting it all in. Don't try to totally mix. Uh-oh, I knew this would happen. I'm starting to put some on the floor.
I feel like it's not absorbing.
No, you actually want to start just bringing it in.
Should I
Just take
use my hands? Or?
Take your bench scraper. Yeah. So now what so get it off your fork.
Yeah.
And then you're going to do that chop, 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 chop. Like kind of do this with your dough a little bit. I know yours is not as together as mine yet. Do you know what I'm saying? He's doing great. Oh, you shush. Tell Dad to
he's
shush.
giggling at how
No,
exact
so can I
I'm
give
trying
you
to
an
be.
example? So
Yeah,
all you're
please.
going to try to do, just watch.
I
You
missed
just-
the whole
No,
cut
watch.
thing.
So you're just going to kind of see how I'm just folding it in like this, and then you're going to go boom, 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 boom,
Okay.
boom. Yeah, so you're going to kind of do that. Okay? Because basically it's helping distribute the flour within the egg. So I will tell you, I can tell right now with my dough, is a little dry. So we're going to need a little moisture. So actually what you could do, could you fill that measuring cup in the white bowl with a little bit of water?
Just regular tap water?
Yeah. But see how this is not like coming together? I need some more moisture. Thank you. So then all I'm going to do, and can you get me a little spoon? Because I don't want to like pour it because I could pour too much. So this is the part that a lot of cooks are like, I'm out, because there's not exact. But I will tell you, and this is this way of baking too, sometimes with flour,
hands.
you just don't know. Like,
You're a good spot. You can do that.
yeah, you can touch it. No, I wouldn't do flour yet. Start getting it together more.
You mean water?
I mean water yet, yeah. Sorry. So I'm just putting some spoonfuls until it seems like, because what we want to do is we want all of this stuff on the bottom, it to grab it up, because it should be able to make a clean dough, and then we can make it smooth by kneading it. But I couldn't even knead it yet because it was so
Put some more in there,
scrappy.
pretty Matt.
One sec, can I just for a second?
Oh.
There we go. Go around the other way, babe. Just because your wife is trying to, oh my gosh.
It's sticking all to my
Who
hands.
invited him to the kitchen?
Oh, hold on.
Notice how he's leaning over so I can't even
Thank
knead
you.
the dough?
That's good. That's good.
Seriously.
We'll start with that.
So now, let me show you what it looks like before I start getting the kneading. So now it has come together. Do you see that? It's come together, but it is not smooth. So then what we're going to do is you bring it towards you, use your heel, you push away. Bring it towards you, use your heel, push
I
away.
think I need another. If you wanna. Thank you.
How about you go on the other side? That way I can knead. Because he's like going
I
right
mean,
across.
we're working with some limited
He's
space
going
here. To be
right
fair.
across from me. And I'm like, babe. Archie is not surprised, are you, Archie? You're like,
There you go.
All right. Yeah. I feel like
That looks good.
moisture-wise, it's much better.
yeah. and you can see the color. So it's not smooth yet, so you're gonna keep doing this. And this is where you put all your frustration out. So any of the stuff lately that's been really pissing you off, you just knead it away, right, babe? You just knead away all the frustrations.
Yeah.
And you wanna try to sop up all that stuff with your dough. So then you end up having this like nice clean surface, which is kind of cool. Oh, you know what you can do, babe? Will you please, no, I'm gonna need that, put it back. Can you please actually get the knives clean, because we're gonna need them to cut our pasta. So we are not using a pasta machine today. We are using a knife. And that's the other thing I love about this, so approachable.
More moisture?
Let's see.
Maybe a little bit.
I don't know, it's so close.
All right.
I just don't think it's together yet.
Well,
Yeah, I think you're okay.
All right.
I think you're okay.
I trust your judgment.
Yeah, because I think mine felt like that before it got smooth. So the when you're rolling, you can go like that. You can also just do like, there's no rhyme or reason. People get upset with kneading because they think, well, I'm not doing it right. You know what you're trying to do is you're trying to push the flour against itself within the moisture and the egg so it can smooth. Let me check one more time just so I can see. No, I think it's gonna.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's very similar.
Okay.
Don't you think?
I think mine's just a little bit drier, but I think it's.
What does he sound like? He sounds like the thing Pete Davidson from SNL.
Life.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I just think mine's just ever so slightly drier, but I think it's fine. But
Well, you could always just do literally a drop. Yeah. There you go.
I'll get to that.
So, anyways, that's all she wrote. So we're going to keep doing this till it feels smooth.
Yeah. Actually, I was gonna snack on those.
Oh, that's a good idea.
A little bit of calcium or whatever the hell is in eggshell.
You're
Okay.
doing pretty well. I'm impressed, man. It was much better than I did. It's just not saying really much.
So this is where you burn some calories, right, babe?
Yeah.
So what we're looking for is smooth. Oh, because I was watering it. It's a little succulent. Okay. I want mine's almost there. I just feel like I want it a little bit smoother.
Oh, mine's feeling pretty smooth.
Oh, yours is smoother than okay. Can you make mine smoother?
I'm a master.
Maybe you need one more drop of water. Maybe mine's a little too
I
dry.
don't. Yours, I don't think
So-
feels dry.
So apparently, the more brawn you put into it, the quicker. I can't tell you how much I've been working on that. And like he did his for like 2 minutes and it got smooth. What the heck?
You have no strength.
Well, and I'm heating up too, so there's that. Well done, babe. So let me show you his. So look how nice it is. And if you push your finger in, I don't know, I see people doing that on the internet. I don't know if that means anything, but I can't believe how nice you got yours. Wow.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Oops. whoopsie.
Moisture!
Sorry. Okay. All right. So we have our 2 things now. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put, can you actually put that in the sink, babe?
Yeah.
We're going to tidy this up. Because
We need the
now-
scraper anymore? Or?
Yes, because this is what we do. This is what
Can
we
I
do.
wash my hands?
Sure. There we go. So now we're going to tidy this up, and now we're going to do the rolling and cutting. And we're going to use this to separate it too.
Do I need to stir or anything?
No, it's good. It's just hanging out. Let's just bring everyone over to see how our sauce is hanging out. Looks good. Oh, I just cannot even tell you how good it smells. It smells so wonderful. Look at that. Ah. It just smells delicious.
I saw Matt
Simple.
get angry with his dough. That's the secret. Yeah, you just gotta.
Simple and
You have some
delicious.
animosity.
All right. There we go. Okay, so then the next thing we are going to do, let me just till it just a little bit. 1 second. Okay, there we go. Is we are going to divvy. So let's start with, I don't know whose is whose. Let's start with yours. Oh, I have it in water. Shoot, I don't want to do that. Let me also bring the flour.
That's the soft one.
Okay, so you want to make sure your hands are dry.
Yeah, I'm gonna use a
are
paper
gonna-
towel to get it.
And you know what? I'm going to put a dish here so this doesn't get wet on the bottom. Just a second. Okay, so this is going to go here. So we're going to roll out. So there's only one rolling pin. So let me show you with one, but you are actually probably going to be able to do it better than I am because, again, the force. So I'm going to cut it in half. So that we'll eventually put these into 4. And then all we're going to be doing, we're just spreading out some flour here so it doesn't stick. And actually, Matt, would you get out another regular plate and just kind of put it right there? Thank you.
Big plate?
And yes, please. And just sprinkle a little bit of flour on the bottom of it. So then what we're going to do is we're going to be rolling this out. So when you start rolling, it can go there. It's okay.
You said sprinkle a little.
Oh, can I tell you already how much easier this is to roll with
Than the larger one, yeah.
one
Did you say sprinkle?
with a spoon?
Gotta be thin.
Yeah, just a little spoonful, not a whole spoonful, just a little spoonful. Just go sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. Perfect, that's good. And then I'm gonna do this, watch. So have a plate that you can put yours on because it's amazing. I cook for this fella.
He
But
keeps it fun.
he does make it fun. I had the bright idea, by the way, of making homemade pasta after we came back from Italy. And how did that go? How'd that go that day?
Oh, great.
Was it as easy as I thought it was going to be?
Well, yeah, not with your rolling pin.
Not with my rolling pin. And I was getting a little bit,
I had to do a lot of work.
I was a little bit overheated.
Yeah.
And it was hubs for the win, so that was great. Oops, so you're going back and forth. And this is where I'm going to let you do this a little bit before I get, so you go back and forth.
Oh.
Yeah, go for
All right.
it. Go for it.
Can I
It's
move
already,
this
I'm
just
getting
so
hot.
So it doesn't hit it?
No, I want it here actually. I want it over there. Okay. Yeah. And then, so we're aiming for quite thin.
Okay. Knock that damn plate off.
And then flip, and then flip.
Flip.
Yep. Okay, I want that there.
I know, but I don't want him to hit it.
He's fine. You are managing us. Hubs is managing us. Okay. So then, can I show you the next part of the technique?
What?
Okay, do one more like that. So then when you feel like you can't really be effectively getting it any thinner, this is why you need the small one. So you're going to roll this over like so, and then you do this little technique.
Whoa.
So you see how,
Wow.
and then look at how much that got. So you're going to be continuing to do that. So now we're going to go here, and we're going to roll it.
Whoa.
Yep.
There goes the-
So do you see how it went farther?
Yeah. Pretty good.
There you go. So then that's how you get it to get even thinner. And so if you have a thicker one, it's not going to be
I don't
possible.
remember going that fast.
Also, take care, Archie. He had to head
There we
out.
go. Thanks, Archie. All right, so do you want to try? Oh,
He wants to try.
so Hubs is trying.
I just remember doing it like this. Not.
I was watching the experienced cook. That got a little thin, so don't go any thinner down there. The experienced cook that was there. But you can also see that I will say getting anyone that has a little bit more brawn is helpful because they are able to push harder. And also I will say the counters these days are up high. And when we were learning to cook, remember, babe, it was much lower, a lower counter. And so I could then get even more force into it. But with these high counters, it really makes it tricky. Wouldn't you agree?
You do?
Yeah. So does it seem pretty even?
I think you can go a little bit more.
Okay.
I think focus more of it over
Have
on.
you ever seen Hubs so involved? Isn't this awesome?
I enjoy this.
I love this. And I'll even move this because I know that was concerning him.
I like the Nona.
He liked the Nona. She was great. Rosanna. That was her name.
Rosanna.
Rosanna. Yes, that was her name, Rosanna. So let me know when you're done.
That looks pretty good.
It's getting close.
Okay, I'm going to dry the knife because we're going to need the knife.
Yeah, it's getting close.
So I would just say get it not too thin, but about as thin as you think you're able to, because it does expand. Is that good?
I think that's good.
You tell me.
Yep,
Yeah,
I think
that's
it's good.
good.
So then what you're going to do is, let me see, I'm going to just go like this. We are going to do a little sprinkling because you don't want it to stick. So I'm going to get a little sprinkle there, and we're going to fold it. So then you're going to take your pasta and you're going to fold it into each other. So like we're going to fold in here. Let me just do a little more sprinkling. And then you're going to fold again. There we go. And then you're going to start cutting, okay? So we're going to just do this throwaway one. There we go. And then we just start and do it to, I don't know, what would you say that is, Matt? That.
Oh, like a little under a centimeter.
Can you show that there, that thickness
Yeah.
for tagliatelle?
Isn't this where we
Yep. But I want to
kind of
first,
put it over the knife?
but first I wanted to show everyone about how thick it was, or wide. Sorry, not thick, wide. And then you're just cutting down. And you know what? It's kind of like what Ina Garden says. If everything isn't exactly the same, so what? It's rustic, you know? At the end of the day,
And we're not machines.
we're not machines. And that's part of what makes homemade wonderful. And that's how people know it's homemade, because it is not all perfect and
Yeah.
the same. But then this was the trick that really got us excited. And these are going to be a little thinner because
That's fine.
So then what you do is you put your knife under the pasta and keeping the straight edge along the middle. And then, I'm not going to do it all, but then watch.
Ah.
And it flips out. And then you take your
Pretty
pasta
cool.
and you're going to put it here. Oh, actually, do it here. Sorry, do it here. Because then what you want to do, I'm going to transfer in a second. Then what you want to do is you want to make sure it's floured well so that it doesn't stick. So after it flips out, you take it here, you sprinkle maybe a little bit more flour, you toss it with the flour so that it's coated, and then it just can hang out over here till the rest of it's ready. And there we go. Okay?
Good work.
So we just have 3 more to do. You ready? Just 3 more. So I'm gonna. Do you mind? Because you're good at this part. Do you mind getting started with that? Because having someone with a little more brute force is going to make it go a little faster. Okay. And I'll move this because I know that was making Dad a little nervous. So it's just the 3 steps. It's the roll until you feel like you can't go any further, and flip it and move it as you're rolling. And then at the end, you do this where you wrap it over, and then you kind of do this shimmy motion that helps it stretch. So it's like there's a stretching thing going on. And that's a specific term, stretching thing. But it really works. And having the diameter be less is what is key. Well, they're okay to eat, but I don't know if they'll taste that good. There's no
Raw
salt.
egg and raw flour.
There's no salt in there.
I don't know if okay is doing a little bit of chance in there. A little bit of something
I'll
else.
get these rounds.
Oh!
Oh, whoopsie. Oh, took them out
You're hovering.
with my sandal, apparently. Sorry about that, babe. Didn't mean to do that. All right, so while that's going on, I'm just going to take a look at this sauce. Oh, it smells so good. And meanwhile, I'm just going to give this a taste while he's doing this, just to see. I'll bring you over. Just to see how the taste is, if we need to add salt and pepper. Let me see. You can see how it looks. It's gotten nice and thick, so let me give it a little taste. Oh, that flavor. I cannot even express the flavor. So I need to bring my salt tester over, because for me, I feel like it's salty enough. But now you do want to put some pepper in here, because pepper is definitely, it's included in the recipe, and it is, what's it called, classic to it. So stir it up, and then taste and see what you think the salt is. I thought it tasted salty enough, but I'm a little bit more salt sensitive. So I want to make sure because everyone's going to be eating this. And don't forget, we will be adding a little pecorino to it, which is a very salty cheese. That would be the cheese, by the way, that would be the classic cheese to add, is the pecorino. What do you think?
Yeah. A little bit more, but not much.
Okay, just a little?
Yeah,
Just a little sprinkle?
Not a lot.
Okay. Like that?
Yeah.
That good? Okay. Very good.
It was close.
It was close. So I was actually right, which was good. And I'm going to want,
You want to?
Yeah.
and
Oh.
Matt, I want you to come taste this so you can see what the sauce tastes like.
Yep.
I'll jump in.
All right.
What Matt will like about the passata, and I think he'll end up getting passata, is that there's no tomato chunks. He's not a big fan of tomato chunks.
Feels salt's good.
But isn't that like good flavor?
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think salt level's perfect,
Yeah, very good flavor. All right, so let's see how the pasta king is doing.
especially with pecorino. Like that'll.
Let's see. Ooh, look at him. Look at him go. Nice.
I did it once.
Look at that. Well done. And by the way, these were those tomato pie and the focaccia. Like, nice. So that'll be good. That'll be good. All right.
I think it's, you tell me.
Let's see.
I think it's getting in there.
This is all Matt's work.
I love that they're working together. This is the part that I least like because I find them not very efficient or effective. I think it looks great. Should we
try.
make these a little longer? Like we'll go this way? Oh, that's nice, babe.
What do you mean?
Do just the edges right here. These, just the edge here is just a little thicker. This is beautiful here, it's just the edge.
Okay.
Just the edge. Go out a little further. Yep, and then the other side a little bit to the other edge.
Yep.
Yeah. And then I think we're good to go. Beautiful. Thank you. Okay, so to make them longer, I'm going to actually now do them this way. Matt, I'm going to let you cut this.
Oh boy.
So we're going to go in like so. You go in once and then twice.
Yep.
And then
Alright, so
you
we get
you
off
you do
the-
it however you want. Oh wait, I didn't do one thing. I just remembered. She does recommend flouring it so it doesn't stick.
Yep.
So I don't want to forget that. So just do the flour, do the fold. Oh, do a little flour. There we go. Okay, there you go. Wait, and we're throwing noodles. I'll take that. Thank you. The funky. Now, you could always save these and just give them to the kids to have, at some point. But the cut's easy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, not too shabby. What I love is it's so approachable. Like it's like everyone has eggs. And again, you could use regular flour. This is just a little bit finer, softer. Tastes pretty good. Hub says the actual raw stuff tastes pretty good. But I love that. I think it's just great. A little tiny thin noodle. Barb and May, have you ever made homemade pasta? I know Barb's made gnocchi. So I'm just curious. Okay, so now try the little trick.
Yep.
So the flat edge should go right in the middle.
Right in the middle, flat edge in the middle.
There you go.
Oh, lost
okay.
one.
And then you're just going to pull it right here,
Yep.
and then we'll toss it with the flour. Good. And let's bring this flour here. We just toss with the flour. Do you want to bring the plate over? There we go. So we have our second thing. Look at the pasta. So exciting. Thank you. All right. Go for it.
Back to work.
Back to work.
You need a little bit more,
Yeah, probably a little more flour. But this is, it really, like, what I love about it is that the method is pretty simple. It's just a matter of, I will say, talking about cooking being a workout, it is nice to have a little bit of brawn with it. And Barb said, you've made a lot of homemade pasta, all by hand. You're doing a wonderful job. Thank you, Barb. So Barb, what is your favorite pasta to make? Because I know when we were talking about gnocchi, you were discussing the different gnocchis that you like to make, but how about pasta? Do you like to cut them by hand too? Do you use a pasta machine? What's your favorite? I'm just curious with that. And by the way, you can use this pasta to make a lasagna. I mean, that you could do, just you wouldn't have to cut it. So while he's doing that, one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get the oven on just to get my, going to give my focaccia a little like boost to help it kind of crisp up a little on the outside. So I'm just putting my oven at 350.
Hey, question.
Yes,
That's 355.
I know, it's fine. Answer.
Sorry, I'm hungry. I'm eating almonds.
He's eating almonds. I would love to tell you the joke about almonds when we were away last weekend, but go ahead.
I forgot.
What's your, oh, okay. Meanwhile, I'm going to make salad. So just to show you that we are real here in Philly, is that, you know, we're having family coming over, and this, well, and it's not a pretty bowl, it's a functional bowl. So I'm making my salad in the functional bowl, just saying. I could get out my beautiful wood bowl, but then that's hard to clean. I have a top shelf, and you know what, we're just trying to keep things simple.
I remember.
Yes,
How long does it take the pasta to cook?
just like 2 minutes. Like it's
Yeah, that's the
very
thing that's
quick.
nice about fresh
Very
pasta.
quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, very quick.
You want me to open a bottle of wine?
Yes, actually, I do want you, because I want you to take out the fridge, because I want that wine to not be as cold. So can I show that? Can you show the wine, sweetie, actually? Because I want to, this is the wine, yes. This is the wine we got at
This is one of them.
Poder, one of the wines we got at Poder de la Repie. When we had our last one, we used the Rosé, and this one, can you read what that one is? Can you bring it up closer so they can see?
It's Toscano Rose.
Yes, so it's a younger wine, which is why I did put it in the fridge to let it chill just a little bit. I don't want it cold, which is why I want to have it out now. But I didn't want, especially in the summer, I can't handle a warm red right now. And everything is warm now. So I figured I'm going to definitely put just a little chill on that. But that's obviously to whatever you want to do. So for our salad, all I'm going to do is add some wonderful greens. There we go. And I'm just going to do that balsamic that we like to do here. So I'm going to do some greens, some salt and pepper.
Do I just go?
I also want to get this getting back up. Okay, some salt and pepper. And I have fresh basil. You're okay with basil being in it, right, babe? Yeah. Okay. And we are going to put a little fresh basil on top just to make it look pretty when we do our dinner. How's it feeling, Matt?
I think we're there.
Can I see?
It's pretty damn thin.
Ooh, very nice. Want to do that one too? That's very nice.
I didn't get a chance to do it.
Well,
But yep,
too slow.
that's a good thing. That means the youngest has got it, right?
Guess so.
Okay, so I'm just going to take some basil. I'm going to set aside some of the leaves for our pasta. There we go. And then what I like to do when I'm cutting basil is I just take my little sprigs and I put them down like so. And they all kind of line up, and then I kind of fold them. And my favorite thing to do, I do run a knife sometimes through it, but I love my really sharp, newest kitchen shears that I have, because I always have a couple, like I have one that's older, one that's newer, and I just literally slice it with my scissors, and it makes such a nice ribbons to go in the salad, or whatever you're putting it. But it's just, for me, the easiest way to do basil, and it doesn't bruise it, which is nice, because basil is very tender and can bruise very easily. Okay. There we go. And then it's ready to be dressed with olive oil and balsamic vinegar, and it's good to go.
Okay, well,
Excellent.
Some short ones at the end.
Good
but-
job. No, that's okay. And I'll bring this over. And don't forget to toss it in this flour here first.
Oh, yeah, before.
Yeah. Very nice. That's okay.
You jinxed
We're
it.
playing with our food. It's all good. It's all good. We're
It's
playing with our food.
Just had to say something.
All right, I flipped them all too.
The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to salvage another little piece here.
Yeah.
He's skimping on this homemade pasta. We need to keep what we
Yeah,
can.
yeah.
Got it? He likes the beef to death. Very nice. And you kind of flip.
Should
Yep.
have floured a bit more, I guess. But
Yeah, that's all good. And you can flick it right down in there. There we go. Toss it with the flour. And the last one. Last one. Pasta maker. We should open our own restaurant, right, Matt?
Do you get the feeling she asked you over here for just to make you do the hard work?
No, I was going to make you do the hard work, actually, babe. I knew where your gifts are. All right. So now you had a chance to do pasta
gonna move
the
that
first
out.
way, which was in the food processor, and then the pasta machine. Remember when we made?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts
Of
of the two? Because now you've done it both ways.
I feel like I kind of like that there's less of the machine because this is a bias of mine.
Yep.
I hate doing dishes after dinner.
Yes, I transferred that well.
So
that is so me. That is so why yeah.
the thing that's nice about this is there's 2 less appliances that you would have to clean. So
You're not wrong, and that is so how I
for
think.
that-
Isn't it also that it's like you're doing it yourself? It's not like
no, it's not. It's just that I
It's
did
the
2
machine.
less machines.
I'm
I'll be honest about it.
so with you.
I
I'm
just-
so with you on that.
I-
That cracks me up.
But I'm the one that does the
Listen, if I had somebody else doing this for me, honestly, I would probably prefer the other one. But I live in a 1-bed apartment by myself, so
With no one to wash his
yeah.
dishes.
So it's me, myself, and I. So nobody is there to do dishes but me.
By the way, Barb said she makes manicotti.
oh,
And you love making
love
homemade
manicotti.
fettuccine.
Ooh.
And you have a KitchenAid with the pasta attachment, but you like doing it
Ah.
all by hand. She does like, and May said, I never have, but I'm inspired by you now and we're trying next week. Oh, and May, if you're interested, I don't know, May, do you have one of those more narrow
Rolling pins.
rolling pins? If not, I can get you that information. I just got it. I did some research on them. There was one I'd wanted to get, but I think it was out of stock. And this one I actually, I just got on Amazon. I think it was $10, but it's really nice. I forget the kind of wood it is. But I was very pleased with it. Very pleased with the quality. Yeah, so if you're interested, I can get that to you. Because that was the one thing I didn't have. That was the one thing that I was missing. What you looking for? Oh, I see.
got that just a little bit wet.
Want me to flip it?
Yep. If you want to hop in here, Dad.
Yeah,
Okay.
Dad, because give me
My
a little break.
hands are getting
Yeah.
sore.
It is,
Hold it.
it is, and Barb, you can attest to it. Like, actually, what I like about it is, in a way, that it's a workout because you're working it.
Yeah.
You're working. So I'm gonna put these in just to zhuzh them up a bit, and the. I said zhuzh just to see the reaction. He loves my words, and zhuzh is a word, by the way. So I'm gonna put these in the oven just to get them a little bit happy, and I'm gonna I turned my heat off that. I'm gonna get the heat back on low there.
You're probably gonna die of worms, but
It's a little doughy.
You're gonna die of worms.
Oh,
We sound like the what is
you get worms.
yeah what movie is that? The
Christmas story.
Christmas Story. Yeah. Okay. There we go. I'm just putting on these just to get
A
them.
little bit of salt.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
Ah,
What do you think?
not bad with a little
Not
sprinkle of
bad?
salt on there.
Okay. There we go. Let's see, how are we on time? Oh, it's after 5. Where is the eldest and his beautiful
Take my
bride?
phone.
Probably still looking for parking.
Oh, they didn't take the bus?
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
That's a possibility.
Let me check.
They haven't texted anything.
Let me see. Nope. Okay.
All right.
Well, I can check his
How's that?
David's location.
Let me see.
More? I can do more.
I think just this part here. this is not, I wouldn't get that any thinner because that's quite thin. It's
This
this,
part?
it's see how it's like where all that flour is? That's the part that's a little bit,
They're nearby.
okay,
I
good.
just checked David's location.
Yep, okay. Very good. Yeah, you're almost maybe just, oh, careful. Whoop, 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 whoop. We get a little flour there, just a second. Whoops.
Missed.
I know I did. How did I miss that? There we go. Okay.
Good?
Mm-hmm.
Again?
Yep. One more time. Excellent. Matt, you want to cut? Or Dad, do you want to cut?
Sure.
I'm gonna cut.
Okay. Cutting is very, I found very satisfying.
Yep.
You know,
Can I
Which
wash
way
this?
you
however
think
you
I
want.
should fold it?
Well, I like the longer ones, right?
Like
Don't you think
this? Or you mean like
that?
this?
Yeah, let me do that. So longer.
Can I wash?
Although that probably doesn't make sense, right? Let's do it this way. Let's do it like that.
Oh, yeah, that works. Yeah.
Can I wash?
Yes, you may.
I like that you folded it and then unfolded it.
Oh, flour though, extra flour. Remember we don't.
Oh,
I
yeah.
have a little piece of basil that's attached. Oh, that's okay. We have now basil pasta, but that's fine because it all works. They're all good flavors.
right.
Yes. So there you go. You can rub, and then we'll just do the sides. That just ensures it not to stick.
Yep.
So someone's going to get the basil pasta, and you're going to feel special. Maybe whoever gets the basil pasta gets a prize. Oh, how nice is that? That actually
Yeah.
works out quite well. Okay. All right, there you go. Okay. Very yummy. Very, very yummy.
You can do whatever you want with these after.
I
But
still think, wait. You are chinsing our pasta. You go to the very edge. We have two
right.
nice little noodles there.
we're ready.
Gosh, these kids these days. All right.
What do we do with this onions?
Oh, I'm just putting them in a little container. Thank you. Because those I can use this week. Let me just get that. All right, so we are gearing down. We are almost ready.
Those pieces of squangili.
Guanciale. It's because of the it's because of the one I had. That was the shape of it, sweetie. Hers was more narrow. That's just the one we had. Squangili. Oh, you're fun.
That must be that.
So we could have diced it.
Wait, hold on,
Oh.
don't drop it yet. Look.
Oh wow! I did not like the elevator ride.
Oh,
You shouldn't have used it.
yeah, it's been on the fritz. It didn't work earlier today.
figured when we heard a bang, I started to go up. And then when the doors opened, we took a step into the elevator.
There we go.
Oh boy.
Well, we're grateful that you made it out of the elevator. We're having elevator problems in our building, so we're glad they got out.
Oh dear.
All righty. So perfect timing because this takes just 2 minutes to cook and the family's here. So do you want to bring that over, Matt?
Yep. There's some Final Destination stuff
Go.
going
Very
on.
nice. So if you could watch for when the pot boils, and I'm going to get this tidied up. We're almost ready, you guys. Perfect timing. Does it smell good? Thank you so much. I actually meant to remind you. Thank you. I totally forgot. Thanks, Carol.
Did you salt?
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Okay, and the best thing about these bench scrapers is they make it so easy. Yes, and actually, if you want to pour the wine, babe, you can pour the wine. Divvy it between the 5 of us. I mean, does everyone want wine? Yep, sounds good. This is from Italy. This is one of the reds. Okay, there we go. So is it boiling yet, Matt?
Nope.
No?
Getting close. Oh,
Getting close?
like
Almost.
soft.
Yeah, soft boil. Okay, so we are almost there.
We still gotta salt the water, I assume.
I already
right?
did.
Oh, you did.
Yeah,
Okay.
I always do it at the beginning because I'm worried I'm going to forget to salt the
But doesn't-
water, and I know it makes a difference.
Doesn't salting water change the boiling point?
It can, but I just knew I was going to
Come on.
have. So if you're trying to rush it, then wait. But then
Yeah,
I
that's
knew I
usually
was.
what I do.
Yeah, I did it ahead, so I knew it was going to be okay. All right. So our sauce is ready to go. It's seasoned perfectly, and our water is almost a rolling boil.
Taking the dogs out though.
Want to come say hi?
I was gonna get water.
Okay. Come get water and get water for your beautiful wife. There's my Elvis,
Oh, I got a lot
David.
of flour on me.
I know this, which is why. It's
exactly why you wear the damn thing, yeah.
That's exactly.
I haven't looked down this entire time.
Okay, so Matt, do you want to bring the camera, and we'll get
Oh,
this in. Okay. It's time to cook the pasta.
Careful with the water.
Yeah, I know. Asbestos hands. Yes, it is very warm. So I'm just doing this so that it doesn't like all stick in a clump. And then I'm going to take a wooden spoon just to stir it. And then when it floats, it's done. It'll be just a couple minutes. And then we are going to spoon this right from here into our pasta sauce. So that's going to happen from there to there. Put that there.
Bad habit.
And then I'm going to, with this one, I think I'll probably use tongs. Get that cooking. So our sauce is ready. That's ready. We'll toss and then we'll taste. And then we will get on to dinner. So this one's a little thicker, so I'm going to let it go just a minute. Meanwhile, I'm going to drizzle this with the balsamic vinegar. This great stuff I get from our nearby market. And some of their olive oil, which again is wonderful as well. There we go. Just my favorite thing about summer is just easy salads, you know. Just a nice fresh salad to have with the pasta. Okay, so our salad's done. We already put some basil in there. You could add tomatoes. We've got so much tomato going on with our amatriciana sauce that I held back with the tomatoes. So I'm gonna put this over at the table. How's it looking, Matt?
Just getting some floaters.
I think we're about ready.
Yeah.
You okay with everything in the oven?
Sure, yeah, I'm okay with it, but I think it probably could still use a minute. I'll take it out right before we eat. And then I need a big knife because I thought we'd cut it into squares, babe. Okay. I'm just worried about some of these are
cutting
quite
those into
thick, so I
squares.
just want to make sure that they're cooked enough. Okay, Matt. See how some of these?
Yep.
So like if the Nona's making it, the Tagliatelle are probably not as thick as these, but we're just doing our best here, right? And it tastes good. But if it was thinner Tagliatelle, I would take it out by now. But I just want to make sure that there's no raw in there because it is a little thicker dough. And it'll be so good putting on our sauce. Get that, ramp up that a little bit. Put this over there. There we go. Oh, so yummy. What do you think, Matt?
It's all about the sponge chili.
Squid chili? I think. Should I take a little bite just to see?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
You don't need this, right?
Oh, dear.
What's that? No. Let's see. Yeah, it needs a little.
A little more?
Yeah. It's a little firm. It's a little firm, so just let it go a little bit longer.
Right behind.
Just there. The patience, the waiting, right? The anticipation. Okay. All right. It'd be nice if we get a little boil there. And I have our plate here for trying.
You guys good doing it?
There we go. So while I'm giving one more minute, I'm going to taste the wine. Where am I sitting? I'll sit here. Let's try it. Let's see the wine. Here's the wine we got. Let's give it a taste.
But they taste their sauce is really good.
Oh, it's really good. Want to taste mine?
What kind of was it? I can wait till I get mine. But.
Very good. So what I like is that it's just got a slight chill to it. So it's just helpful in the summer. I think it makes a nice flavor. All right, I think we're good.
It's quite a good hot dog too.
Ready? I'm putting that to low, and I'm going to move this over. Let me just get my heating pad. Let's see. Over. And just transfer. So I'm just going to put that in there. There we go.
It'll be a pretty full.
Yep. Luckily, it's a simple sauce, so it's not gonna,
Yeah.
it's not gonna be as hard to toss it, which is good. Of course, I'm keeping my cooking water because in case, I think there's gonna be plenty of sauce here, but just in case we need to thin it out at all. And that's why I'm not worried about the extra water that's coming there because it helps give you kind of a nice consistency. And now we're just going to gently toss. There we go. I probably have a little more sauce than I need here. I know in Italy, they very much want everything to be just sauced enough. So this one, I probably could have poured some of it out, but whatever, right? Still good. But look. So I'll get a little taste out, and then we will get on our dinner way. Matt, would you mind turning off the oven with your other hand while you're there?
Yep.
Thank you. Okay, there we go. Bring her in. There we go. So tagliatelle alla amatriciana. And so let's give her a taste. Let me get her plate. Let's get a little taste here. Get a little meat. Get a little meat. And a little basil. Oh, and a little pecorino. Definitely a little pecorino. There you go. You ready, babe? Let's give her a try. Oh, where'd my forks go? Oh, here they are. Ready? No. Oh, okay. Maddie, you get to try. Boy, he's relishing his trying thing. That's
I
pretty
guess
impressive.
if I have to.
Pretty impressive. So there's your guanciale. I'm going to get the perfect bite with some guanciale. Oh. It might be a little hot.
A little trouble.
Trouble to squangili.
The flavor, dare I say the flavor is even better than it was in Italy of the sauce. The guanciale just permeates. Like it is so different. The pasta, yeah, go ahead. The pasta is delicious.
Really
It's a little thick, but we got it as thin as we could, so don't stress about that.
But it's cooked through.
It's cooked through. It's hearty, so it feels actually more hearty that
Yeah.
way. But obviously, if you want to get this super thin tagliatelle, you can put it through a pasta machine. But the flavor, the sauce, so good. Highly recommend. Friends, May, Barbara, Archie, and anyone else who's joining, thank you so much for coming to the stream. Try pasta. It is so approachable. It's easy. Give it a go. Let me know what you think, and let me know if there's any other food content you'd like. Thank you so much for joining us. And next month, we will also be doing the ravioli that you made. So the last recipe that we learned in Umbria, we'll be doing next month. All right? So until we meet again, thanks, friends, and have a great rest of your weekend.